Hello everyone, welcome to Arcane Investigations. This should be a short game about 1 hour long. This is a visual novel. We will be investigating some magic crime. It's 2 chimes past midnight on the Quartzway Express, and I still can't sleep. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it's time for my secret weapon. To fall asleep, all I have to do is flip my pillow over. And it's still warm from when I tried this trick 5 minutes ago. Who am I kidding? Maybe I should just bail out the window, slink back to my family's flower shop. No stress there, no existential doubt that I'm totally unprepared to become an arcane investigator. If I hand in my resignation first thing in the morning, no one will even notice I was here. You know, maybe I actually am asleep. Who am I kidding? I gotta know what it was. But first, should I change into real clothes? Look out, world, I'm in pants. The train hallway is dark and quiet. That's odd. The door to the train's locked safe room, it's open. You creep over and find the safe has been torn open. Its contents are strewn around the room. Oh no, there's been a break-in. Walking inside, you almost step on magic rune that smolders on the safe room floor. Whoa, some legit magic got cast up in here. If I remember from Professor Polywood 301 Advanced Spellcraft class, this spell on the ground is a Transilia rune. Do you need to click on this? No. A Transilia rune means, or maybe I should, someone's been using magic to teleport. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Ah! The speaker restrains a frightened witch. This does not concern you, citizen. But I heard screaming. The Magisterium Bureau of Investigation has this well in hand. Return to your room and leave this to the professionals. But we are the professional, right? Okay, but just for the record, you dig in your pants for your ID. See this badge? I'm a newly officiated arcane investigator. Thanks the giants, I changed out of my PJs. Oh, lucky me. Ah, you must be Kabili, the new graduate from the academy joining our ranks. I don't technically start until tomorrow, but it's nice to meet you. I'm Oberon, a sorcerer's forensic expert, to say nothing of my knowledge in criminal law, rhetoric, and success rate as a prosecutor. Wow. Speaking of, I'm in the middle of transporting the prime suspect in tonight's robbery into custody. She used dangerous magic to destroy train property and make off with a singularly dangerous magic artifact. So I plan to make her stand trial and pay for what she's done. The restrained witch stares at the ground, not protesting. A dangerous artifact. Did anything else got stolen from the safe? I ask because a certain someone's dad may have given them a watch to celebrate their new job. The only object stolen from the safe was a powerful artifact, an arcane power gem. The priceless stone originally belonged to the recently deceased father of this witch, Ismeta Yukar, and her brother Foley Yukar. Though the final details of their fathers will remain under active magisterium investigation, the power gem was released to the authorities so that it could be displayed at the father's funeral in the capital. As the gem was entrusted to the provincial guard for safekeeping, Ismeta's act of theft will be considered a crime against the magisterium itself. That's pretty serious, and you're sure she did it? It's the same old story. Those with arcane power think they can get away with anything. Fear not, justice will be done, and she'll never cast a spell again. Ismeta says nothing, watching the snow-capped mountains roll past. Even though you're sleep-deprived, hungry, and embarrassed because your hair is doing that thing again, you can't help but notice there is something about her look. You tell yourself to stay out of this. I don't think she did it. Excuse me? Ismeta turns to you surprised. You roll out of bed, hear half the facts, and think I've got it wrong. I mean, isn't it magisterium protocol to give the accused counsel? If you are volunteering to defend this matter, I won't stand in your way. What? But I haven't had new investigator orientation yet. Nobody knows my emergency contacts. I can't think of a better orientation than this. I've already alerted the train conductor and cordoned the safe room and other areas of interest from the rest of the passengers. Review the crime scene, question is Meta and her brother Foley, the only other suspect. You better hurry. I anticipate notching another guilty verdict by the time we arrive in the capital. Hold the gramophone. We are doing the trial here tonight. The rest of our judicial team are already on board and have been alerted to the matter at hand. Empath, Wheeler, and Adjudicator Zircon are making preparations as we speak. While you're at it, maybe you can get a straight answer out of her. Straight answer? Is Meta, enlighten our new investigator as to your whereabouts tonight. I can't say. What? You don't have an alibi? I admire your courage in defending her. You should all aspire to be so bold. Wait, I just realized we can't do the trial tonight. And why is that? A valiant effort. I look forward to seeing the fruits of your investigation. Oberon flashes you a winning smile, leading his matter away. Great. Meeting the future co-workers while stumbling through the first case? What could possibly go wrong? Maybe I'll get sent back to my parents' flower shop sooner than expected. At any rate, I better get started investigating. Though not ideal, I can use my travel case to store and make notes of any evidence I find. I better keep my eyes open. Anything I find could become a vital piece of evidence in the upcoming trial. I can always check what I've collected by pressing the big old inventory button. In fact, I should do that right now. We have an investigator contract. Official magisterium startup paperwork I've yet to fill out. It details how I'm supposed to work with the automaton Zircon and investigators Bartholomew, Oberon, Buzzard, and Wheeler Mayweed. And the train ticket. A ticket that doubles as shameless self-promotion for the train, propelled by runestone wheels. The Quartzway Express travels at a blistering pace of 10 meters per second. Lovely. That is done. When I click on a piece of evidence from inside my inventory, I can give myself a refresher on what the item is. Another thing, whatever happened here, it definitely involved the Transilia rune spell, and let's be real, I mostly slept through Mr. Polyworth class. I'll need to ask people how that spell works if I'm going to figure this out. Once I gather all the evidence from interviews and investigating the train, I can let everyone know I'm ready to start the trial. I feel you, Kabili. Of course, now I'm tired. Alright, enough stalling, let's get to it. Where do you want to go? Investigate crime scene in the safe room, search Smeta's room for clues, search Foley's room for clues, or question Smeta in dining car. I prefer to investigate the crime scene first. You head to the scene of the crime, the train safe room. In the center of the room, a circular Transilia rune still glows with embers of magical energy. The broken safe stands near the back wall supported by 3 legs. Ordinarily, it'd be 4 legs, but a section of it has been cleaved off, leaving the contents of the safe fully exposed. Phew. Thank the giants my watch is still in here. As you reach to reclaim your watch, a silver automaton turns to watch you from the window. Nice meeting you too. Actually, I think I'll leave it in here. That would be prudent, Kabili. This is an active crime scene. You must be our investigation team's adjudicator. That is indeed my role and primary function. You may call me Zircon. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I wish it was under better circumstances. At least I had time to change out of my PJs. In trying times, I find it beneficial to appreciate the minor details. I, for one, just saw a juvenile hyrax emerge from its warren for a twilight repast. Since when were automatons programmed to appreciate cute stuff? Would you like to review my serial number or most recent diagnostic review? Under general comments, they wrote, experiences spikes in unprompted self-reflection. Next service date moved up 3 months. I'd like to chat, but I'm kind of in the middle of the whole whodunit thing. We all have our roles to perform. If you have need of me, I shall be observing your methods. Zircon hovers to the side, watching you with their singular gaze. Search the room. Points of interest 6. Weird, the safe elevated on its 3 legs has been split open by a perfect circle going vertically through its structure. I scanned the safe and concluded that the power gem is the only thing absent from its contents. Are you sure I can't just grab my watch back? Not a chance. Ish, never mind. A painting. Is it supposed to be a Galloway beetle? Then why does it have so many legs? Is it many? That's just 6, no? Not all mysteries are ours to solve. Ooh. Since the rune's sigil are still glowing like that, I'd say this Transilio spell was recently drawn and cast. As for the penmanship, it's even messier than my chicken scratch. Maybe whoever did this was in a hurry, or just refused to take calligraphy classes. Despite advancements in arcane forensics, it remains impossible to determine in which direction the caster teleported using the rune. Thanks a lot, arcane forensics. Scattered around the safe are aromatic plant leaves covered in red flecks. An inconclusive scan indicates there may be remnants of the Pyracantha plant. According to the Magisterium Codex, this is a highly acidic plant often summoned by magic users starting at 5th constellation level. How strong of an acid are we talking? Strong enough to melt through walls of a safe? It is within the bounds of possibility. Oof, not a good look for his meta. This entry does not explain where the leaf's red coloring originates from. Whatever caught this section of the safe must have been really packed a punch. And do you think whoever's responsible remains in our midst? Yep, definitely not sleeping tonight. I need to find one more clue. Aha! Directly below the safe on the floor is a smear of mud, ink, grease. Since I have no idea what this could be, I don't think I can add it to my list of evidence. Sometimes things reveal themselves in due time. Safe room rune. Advanced location rune drawn inside the safe room. The rune's landwork appears slapdash and uneven, as though the caster was in a hurry. I bet they were. Now, next, I want to speak with Zircon. Wow! So there are case questions and there are personal questions. Tell me about yourself. I'm a standard issue adjudicator with up-to-date cognition and processing nodes. Don't sell yourself short, you're unlike any automaton I've seen. I possess 0 deviations from standard operating procedure. That being said, Warble! A hat materializes on Zircon's head. What is your opinion on my chassis modification? Speak truthfully, I am myself undecided. I love it! I was being facetious about not possessing an opinion. I feel most myself with this headpiece. That's all the reason you need to wear something. I appreciate your prudent counsel. I shall henceforth be adorned thus. So pretty. Roll on the investigative team. I'm an arcane automaton designed to adjudicate criminal cases on behalf of the Magisterium. To perform my functions, I have read-write privileges on the Magisterium Codex of Collective Knowledge and Judicial Precedent. I'm jealous you can make sense of the thing. The one time I tried reading it, I got a headache from the table of contents alone. It is perplexing the law of society are largely inscrutable to those who they are made to protect. Does anything here seem out of place? Before returning to my chamber to engage sleep mode for the evening, I ascertained Oberon was meant to watch the safe room door. Really? Then how did someone break in here without him knowing? Maybe Mr. Perfect Cheekbones was a little lax on his watch. An alternative theory, someone could have used a transiliar rune to teleport inside, escaping Oberon's detection. I like my idea better. Who do you think stole the gem? I'm designed to withhold judgment until reviewing evidence and testimony at the upcoming trial. Sure, but you've got to have an inkling. Coming into contact with ink or any other liquid is dangerous to my chassis. Next question. Tell me about the Transiliar spell. I searched the Magisterium Codex, subsection Major and Minor Arcanum, and found the following. Upon drawing the Transiliar rune and casting the spell, everything inside the Transiliar rune turns incorporeal and travels at 10 meters per second before assuming physical form at the spell's termination point. So, to perform the translocation spell, you just need to draw one of these Transiliar runes and then cast the spell. You don't need anything on the other end to catch you, right? That is correct. All you need is to draw the rune and cast the spell at the sufficient level. Yep, totally knew all that. Thanks for the reminder. What is the Power Gem? The Power Gem is a relic from the era of the Giants that stores large amounts of arcane energy. Though it's unknown what it was originally made for, holding the gem enables amateur magicians to cast spells at higher constellation levels. Additionally, such stones have been known to overcharge objects powered by magic. Sounds pretty handy. Wish I had one of those during my arcane calligraphy finals. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have aided you in memorizing the runestone tables. Good to know my grades are accessible from the Magisterium Codex. Alright, thank you, Zircon. Off I go. Off I go to Ismeta's room. You head to Ismeta's room. The space is crammed tight with books. It doesn't help Ismeta staying in one of the smallest, read cheapest rooms on the train. Having returned from dropping Ismeta's off in the dining car, Oberon stomps around searching for clues. You are careful to avoid stepping in the glowing embers of a Transiliar rune in the center of the room. What? There is another of these teleporting runes inside Ismeta's room? Now, this is really starting to look bad for proving her innocence. What do you want to do? Search the room first. You need to find 5 clues. A Transiliar rune is drawn on the ground. The calligraphy on the sigil is clean, and I'm just going to say beautiful. Allow me to interject. Judging by the arcane suit around the lines, it's clear this translocation spell was recently drawn and successfully cast. Okay, but there's no way to confirm it was specifically Ismeta who used this to teleport. And then again, it does not look good for her. A stack of magic textbooks. Honestly, it's all a little over my head. Which volume is too much for you? Nature of spellcraft in our geocentric plane? Herbal properties of night fungi? Simple magic for simple folks? I'm just going to ignore the last thought. And hey, what's this? In one of her books, she's using a letter as a bookmark. It's from the Arcane Solarium University, welcoming her to the Spellcraft Development Program. Join a team of expert magicians developing the next generation of spellcraft. While working here, you'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. If she just got offered a fancy gig in academia, why would she bother stealing a power gem? That window is locked tight, I think. Then again, understanding user design has never been my strong suit. Why they go to make everyday objects impossible to use? I'm looking at you, hotel showers. This would be the perfect place to hide a power gem if Ismeta stole it. Too bad it's empty, Oberon. I'm sure a witch with Ismeta's caliber could think of a better hiding place than this. Why do beds look so good when you are tired? If only I was back in my own room and there hadn't been a serious crime. Billy, if you make one more long sigh... Yep. Okay, we are done. Here, one moment, let me see. Guide to translocation number 3. Upon casting the translocation spell, everything inside the room turns incorporeal and travels at a speed of 10 meters per second, before resuming physical form at the spell's termination point. So, it seems too familiar, 10 meters per second here and 10 meters per second here as well. I don't think that's a coincidence. Smeta's letter, a letter welcoming Smeta to join the Arcane Solarium University as a paid researcher. As part of that, she'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. We should all be so lucky. Smeta's rune, a translocation rune drawn inside Smeta's room. This one looks masterfully and precisely drawn. Stolen Power Gem. The gem is a valuable artifact that stores vast amounts of arcane energy, used to supercharge anything powered by magic and helps magicians cast spells as if they were a higher constellation level. Now it's time to talk to Oberon. Tell me about yourself. I don't have time for whatever game you're playing. Unlike someone else I know, I'm working. Ouch. Role on the investigative team? As our unit's sorcerer's forensic expert, there isn't an iota of arcanum that I haven't studied, in addition to my dabbling in alchemy, cryptobotany, and hover polo. In this case, I'll use my breadth of experiences and insights to prove Smeta is, without a doubt, guilty. Wow, I have to be in my shoes. Oberon does not return your love. Alright, timeline of events tonight. If you must know, I volunteered to stand watch outside the safe room starting at 8 p.m. tonight. At 1:55 a.m. I made a routine inspection inside the safe room itself, whereupon I discovered the broken safe and the missing gem. I immediately began investigating and found Foley in his room sleeping. Meanwhile, his sister Ismeta wasn't in hers. I suspected the strangely absent Ismeta, who I knew to be a powerful witch capable of teleporting herself via transilia runes. I tried to alert Wheeler to help me locate Ismeta, but she was momentarily disposed to freshen up. After minutes of searching on my own, I successfully captured Ismeta, who I caught attempting to sneak back to her room. It was then that I ran into another potential suspect. You mean me? Hey, leave me out of this. Who do you think stole the gem? Normally I wouldn't divulge, but this case is simplicity itself. Driven by a desire to steal the power gem for herself, Ismeta drew this transilia rune and teleported into the safe room, thus escaping my detection while I stood guard outside. There she broke into the safe, stole the gem, and teleported back out, all without me knowing. If that's true, then how come you found her wandering the halls instead of inside her room? She likely misjudged the jump distance. One should never attempt magic with a guilty conscience. Does anything here seem out of place? I'm confident the power gem is here. It's only a matter of time until its hiding place is revealed. You sound awfully sure for someone who's looked into that closet twice now. If you insist of interrupting, who do you think stole the gem? Wait, you're serious? This is just for sport, from one investigator to another. It'll have no bearing on the outcome of the case. Nope, I'm going to keep my own counsel. Too cowardly for a guess? Frankly, I'm not surprised. I don't even know the suspects yet. Tell me about the Transilia spell. Let me guess, the Transilia rune wasn't on your finals. It was actually, don't remind me. Here's a refresher. Spellcasters have to be careful with Transilia runes. All organic and inorganic matter in the rune circle teleport along with the caster. If you don't want your limbs sliced off when using the rune to teleport, you have to stand perfectly still. I'll stick to trains for personal travel. Aha! So that was a node number 3, this is a node number 2, there will be a node number 1, I guess. So it's time for us to search Foley's room for clues. You walk to Foley's room. Darn, this place is fancy and huge. Well, comparatively big because, still on a train. I want to search the room first. There is 6 points of interest. Foley's got a lot of clothes, but for my taste, his dots are mostly dots. That's me trying to be cool with the fact I could never afford half of this. Good for Foley, breaking out of gender rooms and taking up knitting. Although he's got some serious learning to do, these knitting needles are majorly scuffed up. I'll make a note to give Foley some tips later. I think the thread count on this rug is higher than my sheets at home. I wonder if anyone would notice if I took this home with me? Looks like your standard arcane-powered clock. Too bad it's busted as all gets out. According to this hunk of junk, it's already 4 chimes past noon. If only that was the actual time, then I'd really be at my new apartment and maybe even asleep. Suddenly the door bends open. Kabili, hi! An out-of-breath woman appears, clothes and hair askew. Do I know you? We met when you were ordering a drink from that bartender. The one you thought was super cute? How did you know that? Was I that obvious or... Wait, you must be... Din din din! You were about to guess it. Yes, I'm Willa. Nice to officially meet you. You're the team empath, right? So that means you have the power to... Oh no. Read people's minds. Sorry to disappoint, but a mind reader this girl is not. Basically, my powers allow me to read people's moods. I can tell what someone is feeling, even if they are trying to hide it. Though it's not as powerful as telepathy, mood reading is still a huge help to understand suspects and witnesses' emotions, vibes, and very reciprocated crushes. I'd say that's a relief, but I'm already mortified. Speaking of vibes, I love how it's not even your first day and bam, you're already challenging the big O. Honestly, I'm feeling a little in over my head. Don't worry, feeling overwhelmed is practically the default mental condition. Anyway, I should let you get back to making profound discoveries about that clock or whatever. If you need an empathic insight, just think happy thoughts. Willa turns away to brazenly leave through Foley's wardrobe, admiring the make of his frilly shirts. Leaf through? Never seen such expression. I never heard such expression. Then here, a lot of Foley's business correspondence is scattered around here. Notably, there is a stack of customer complaints for Foley's line of successful graduates, the kettlebell that gets heavier with every swing. Skimming these letters, it sounds like people are upset because after 6 months, the kettlebells stop resetting their weight back to 0. I should probably tell my mom, not that she ever works out, but just in case. The window. This window is locked tight. Even if Foley got this open, he'd have to be some kind of an acrobat to get onto the roof. The world would be a better place if there were more aerial performers, fewer capitalists. So it looks like there is only 2 suspects actually. The sister and the brother. Let's talk to Willa. Tell me about yourself. I get a little shy talking about myself. It's like, what is there to say? Nice meeting you too. Yeah, so that's basically it. What just happened? Role on the investigative team. So I'm the team empath because it turns out reading people's emotions is real helpful when sussing out criminals. Speaking of, I talked with Foley tonight, Ismeta's brother. Something's definitely not on the level with that guy. Anything more specific? I tried digging a little deeper, but Oberon wouldn't let me. He basically pushed me out to search here, even though it's like, hello, I've got 2 left routes when it comes to finding physical evidence. Maybe don't stand on top of the suspect's luggage. This is what I mean. Timeline of events tonight. So I was asleep in my room. You get just the best sleep on a train, right? Talk about salt in the wound. All of a sudden, at 2 a.m., bam! Vacate your room past haste. We have need of your investigative services. Oh, wait, maybe we have 4 suspects. We have Oberon and we have Wheeler as well. Even though they are the investigators, we shouldn't discount them, right? Is that supposed to be Oberon? I told him to hold his horseflies. A lady can't just rush out of her room at the drop of a tam o' shanter. When I was good and ready, I came out and got the lowdown from his lordship Oberon. Then he sent me here where I met my awesome new coworker. Thank you. Thanks for the wholly objective recount. Who do you think stole the gem? Who do I think stole it? Honestly, I just woke up and I'm still getting those gross sap crusties out of my eyes. I will say that before I came in here, Oberon had me do a mood reading on this matter, and get this. I picked up exactly 0 guilty vibes. She was mostly scared and a little hungry. Seriously, then why is Oberon still accusing her? Unfortunately, mood reading isn't a fully unimpeachable method of criminal investigation, whatever that means. In any case, it's not surprising Oberon has Esmet in his sights for this. Whenever there is a crime, his first and only plan blame the strongest magic user. Tell me about your necklace. Just wondering, but what happened to your necklace? What happened to it? Seems all good, no? Oh, this old thing. It's a mood pendant. It lights up depending on my emotions. If it ever turns red, watch out, I bite. It's funny, when I met you in the drinks line earlier, it didn't glow blue like that. It's probably all shiny now on account of the sweet flying dream I had earlier. How come the best things in life are over too soon? So the necklace is important. Is that the gem that was stolen? Maybe she's a thief. Although she seems to be too awesome to be a thief. So we have 3 more notes in our inventory. Complaints on F's weights. A stack of complaints for Foley's business that sells magically weighted kettlebells. It sounds like after 6 months the kettlebells begin malfunctioning and not resetting the weight back to 0. A work-in-progress scarf found in Foley's room resembling a non-Euclidean Ouroboros. Embedded in the scarf is a set of knitting needles with a broken, scratched tip. A magic necklace that responds to Willa's moods. When I first met her earlier today, the necklace was dull and lifeless. Now it's radiant blue from her super awesome flying dream. I think she was just really excited to meet us. Alright, and finally let's go and question Ismeta. You walk to the train's dining car. Ordinarily, there'd be a few other night owl passengers, but the case has scared everyone away. Ismeta stares out of the window, nervously tapping her toes. Across the room, a man looking just like you eats an omelette. This must be her brother Foley. A very sentry reads the paper, keeping an eye on the 2 suspects. Who's sentry? I can investigate this room as well. There's 5 points of interest. The train runs a slick business. They sell tickets to cram all the passengers in here, then upsell us on watered-down mixed drinks. Honestly, I'm glad that Bartender with the impeccable jawline isn't here. I'm too nervous to make a good impression. Hey, wait a minute. According to this itemized bar tab, the handsome so-and-so charged me double for my weak gin and cucumber soda. I'm making a note of this to bug that smoke show later. Maybe this will be the start of a beautiful relationship, or at the very least a refund. If there weren't so many witnesses, I'd treat myself to a little pick-me-up. Hey, get your paws over the good stuff. Just checking the vintage on this bottle of orange juice. Windows. We are going past the cranberry marshes on a moonlight night. Even if my career goes up in flames, at least I got to see this. This is probably unrelated to my investigation, but who put a chandelier on a train? So this is Foley. Nice meeting you. Anything to class up this dump? I'm impressed. Whoever cast this glow incantation on the fixture really knows the illumination spellcraft. I'm looking for one more clue. Here it is. Nothing says I've made it, like digging through the trash for work. That's odd. There's a sandwich in here. Going off pictures from the dining car menu, I'd say this is a beet, lettuce and tomato sandwich. Here is the strange thing. The sandwich is entirely untouched except for the fact that it's missing all the lettuce. I don't know what kind of leafy green was supposed to be in here, but everyone should eat their vegetables. I'm making a note of this to find whoever's responsible for this monstrosity. The monstrosity of the sandwich and the dining car bar tab. A list of tonight's drink orders from the dining car. Gin and cucumber soda, 7:14 p.m. ordered by KC, that's me. Maple fizz, 7:16 p.m. ordered by WM. Wheeler. Ginger root sour, 7:17 p.m. ordered by Ismeta. Maple fizz, 2 of them, and ginger root sour, 2 of them, 8:24 p.m. ordered by Wheeler. Apple wine brandy, 9:01 p.m. ordered by Foley. Honeyed jackfruit bliss, 1:17 a.m. ordered by Bob. Who's Bob? Oh, Oberon. Alright, let's start talking with everyone. Who's Sentry? Sorry, the only reason I'm here is to make sure these two don't try anything. If you'll excuse me, I have to finish reading this article about a healthy work-life balance. Oh, no, I really can't bother him. I've got his mental health to think of. Alright, Foley? Just the guy I wanted to see. Who, me? What would you say if I offered you a delectable new beverage that also restores your mana? What? Introducing my next hit product, Mana Storm. Mana Storm Light and Mana Storm for teens. Hi, I'm Foley Yukar, successful businessman and inventor as seen on the 30 under 30 list in magical businesses bi-monthly. And here's the best part. Your boys still got slots open for investment in this exciting new energy drink venture. You want to make $1 million sovereigns or what? Sorry, trying to figure out the whole who stole your father's power gem. This trifling matter will be past us sooner rather than later. What's the harm in talking some business? Don't you want to get that power gem recovered? Fair enough, but let's circle back later to how we can synergize our investment strategies. Tell me something about yourself. An invitation to talk about myself. Don't mind if I do. What have I done? You're looking at a champion inventor and businessman. My claim to fame is making and marketing my magic weights, but a one-trick pony this man is not. I'm working on designing bespoke workout clothes, ethically sourced cufflinks, and someday the holy grail, luxury timeshares. Tell me about your sister. Ismeta? Yeah, she's alright. It's funny because I'm supposed to be the big brother, but she gets all the respect in the family because of her fancy schmancy arcane research. But it's whatever. I always loved an underdog, especially when they got to wear custom designer suits. Investigation into your father's will. Don't get me started. The whole thing was a nightmare. In the middle of this deeply personal moment of loss for my family and I, the magisterium jumps in, interrupting everything. Turns out they have a strict rule about not starting any personal or business relationships between magisterium agents and beneficiaries in an ongoing review. Wait, what? I was just testing the waters to see if anyone was interested in one of my solid platinum ideas when the magisterium got all huffy. Didn't you just ask me if I wanted to invest in something? I tried making my case, but the pencil pushers insisted Ismeta and I can't have any untoward social or business contact with magisterium people until they are done reviewing Pop's will. They're still reviewing the case even now, so my idea for naturally flavored jelly cubes will have to go unfunded. Talk about personal tragedy. So, where were you earlier tonight? I was in my room, manifesting future business opportunities, when Oberon knocked on my door to tell me about the robbery. I was still in my silk PJs. He even searched the room for the gem and only found one thing of note. My handsome set of barkskin luggage. Only the best for this guy. Tell me about the Transilio spell. You know, effectively casting the spells beyond the humble third constellation level novice like myself. I'd like to think my real magic power is my business acumen. Who do you think stole the gem? It kills me saying this, but it's not looking great for my little sis. A Transilio rune in her room, the safe broken by powerful magic. I only hope you and your team find my pop's magic rock. It has to be him, right? Let's talk to Zmeta now. It's Kabili, right? Thanks for helping me like this. Don't worry, I'm very confident in my professional abilities. What? Don't mind me, just trying to lighten up the mood. How can I help with your investigation? Tell me about yourself first. I'm a 5th constellation level witch and a professional arcane researcher. Anything more personal? How's this for a fun fact? I don't want to be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit. Yeah, I deserve that one. Tell me about your brother. What to tell? My big brother and I used to be close, but then time does what time does. Suddenly a year passes and you realize you haven't spoken since the equinox. Anyway, we are very different people. My idea of a good time is figuring out how to cast a new esoteric bit of magic. Meanwhile, my brother spends all his time writing taglines for his businesses, speaking at conventions, getting his products sponsored in theatrical shows, getting front row tickets to said theatrical shows. Honestly, I'm proud of him and only a little jealous. I think that he's jealous a lot about you. Investigation into your father's will. The Magisterium still reviewed my dad's will since he owned a lot of valuable books and potentially dangerous relics. The lion's share of his belongings were supposed to be split between Foley and I, but then it all got held up in the Magisterium's audit. It's frustrating because I plan to translate some of my dad's first edition magic books and make the text available to any spellheads for free. I even picked out an outfit to wear for my author photo. In any case, they released the power gem to the authorities so they could show the gem at my dad's funeral for all the good they did. Where were you earlier tonight? I can't say where I was. Smeta, you're about to be put on trial for the robbery of a dangerous artifact. You could go to jail for this. Come on, if you tell me where you were, it'll make defending you so much easier. I'm sure you're up for the challenge. For the first time, I wish someone believed in me less. Tell me about the Transilio spell. I know it doesn't help my case, but I've made a career out of performing advanced magic like the Transilio rune. The Transilio spell is actually a fascinating case example of modern arcanists updating a spell originally meant to help ancient quartz miners escape cave-ins. Sorry, this probably isn't time for an arcane history lesson. Here is how that spell works. A 5th constellation level mage or higher can use the spell to teleport exactly 50 meters away. Starting at 3rd constellation level, mages can do a weakened version of a spell only teleporting a few millimeters away. I hope that's useful. What is that power gem anyway? The power gem is family heirloom and a powerful artifact from the time of the giants. Ever since my great-great-great-great-grandma found it, every generation's taken a crack at figuring out what it was really made for. I hope you're able to recover it. I'd hate for all that family history to just vanish. Who do you think stole the gem? I honestly have no idea. I'd had to imagine Foley did it, but I don't see how or why he'd do this. He's only interested in magic when there is a way to market or sell it. Maybe there is someone else we don't know about? And this is the note number 1. Okay, something tells me that's all the evidence I'm going to find. Only thing left to do is let everyone know I'm ready for the trial. Wow! Remember, it's okay that I don't have everything figured out about tonight's robbery. New evidence might be revealed at trial. Doesn't seem like I have any choice. Proceed to the trial.